Well, I told you guys I plant everywhere. I've been taking stuff out of here and putting it in the yard. Good morning, everybody. This is Jamerica with Jamerica Life, and I just pulled some plants out of the planter in the house, and we're gonna go ahead and put them in the ground. That's how I do it. Everywhere. Just keep on going. Something gotta give. Let's get it. So I'm watering on the other side of the gazebo, and I don't want to get wetter than I already am. So we're gonna go ahead and plant right over here. These are peas or beans. So I need to put them on the fence so that they can trellis over. Rabbits have been getting me, but I can only try so much. I mean, I can try, right? If at first you don't succeed, plant again. Now these weeds right here, they are a problem. They keep coming back. My carrots are starting to come up. And I don't need these vining plants to snuff them out. So we have a couple of beans here. And I'm gonna slowly get them apart. That's one right there. I'm putting them in here. Did she come? Okay. I'm putting them in here because they were eating the ones on the outside. So, I mean, I need to try something, right? Here's another one. Here's another one. Let's see what else. Do I have another one? Yeah, I have one more right here. One big one. I'm watering over here anyway, so might as well get my money's worth, right? All right, let me see if I can trellis it a little bit. There we go. That's one. The rabbits may eat that. Now I have a couple of broccoli here. So we're not gonna plant that in here. Well, I guess I could do it right here. I got a spot right here. I'm kind of afraid to plant over here because I haven't harvested my sweet potatoes yet. I don't want to waste my plants. I decided to use the watered gazebo. I would just water it out there. And I've been putting out plants off camera. Been being bad. So we could put a couple over here. I did plant some, well, several different kinds of brassicas here. Some of them dried out, but a couple of them took. So we're gonna put some more right down there. Fill in the spaces. Nothing, no land goes to waste. I got a lot of plants. All right. Okay. One goes right there. have two more. All right, I have two more in my hand. I'm just gonna put them in the ground. All right. Right. Stop. Think about it, girl. You got two little plans. What you gonna do with them? What you gonna do? What you gonna do? What you gonna do? Let's see if something passed away along this walkway. I'm just taking a look-see-poo. Everything is catching on well. Yeah, we're getting ready to hit the water. I think I have a spot here, and I think I saw one back there. So I'm gonna dig a spot here. And we'll put this in the ground. That was quick, right? Quick, fast, and easy. Let's get these weeds up while I'm down here. You know what my rule is, right? If a weed can grow there, so can one of my plants. And I see a spot, because this basil is going to die back. So I'm going to put it right here. Plus the basil will throw off the scent. And there's less pests right here. It can't smell the brassica as well. All right. While I'm sitting down, though I don't do a lot, I do a little bit each day. Reason being, I had to stop this time though, because this ground is hard as a rock. I have clay soil and it hasn't rained well enough for the soil to become pliable. So I have to water, and I'm doing it in stages. So right now I'm watering on the back end of the gazebo where most of the sunlight is. That gets the most sunlight. I have a bunch of brassicas left. And it is cool enough now for me to put them in the ground. I just have to get the soil prepared because the soil is super dry. The only blessings that I have is that the weeds actually protected the soil. Some people think that, it's better to see bare ground than to see weeds. That is not true. All of the microorganisms get burnt up, especially when you have above 100 degrees in the summertime. So I let the weeds stay as a cover crop. There's a reason why people plant cover crops. Now, there's a reason why people plant cover crops, because it protects the soil. And all you do is you take the weeds and you turn them over. You throw them in the yard and let them self-compost. I don't throw them out. I let them self-compost. I don't put them in a bag. Y'all see me pull them out and then I just toss it behind me. There's a reason for that. It's not because I'm sloppy. It's because I'm giving it back to the ground. It'll decompose and feed whatever grass or weeds or whatever I have there. Sometimes I turn it upside down and let it expose the roots on. The roots will be on top. I turn it completely upside down and have the roots on top so that those roots and that plant can deteriorate and give back to the soil. So having bare soil is not a good thing. It's going to erode. It's going to dry up your microorganisms, and if it's super hot, it's going to annihilate your worms and anything living is not going to be around for long, especially when the soil hits a certain temperature. Remember, soil is dark, so it absorbs the heat. If the weed is green and it's covering up the soil, well, that is a good thing. First of all, it's not going to erode. I already said that. And your little insects that are helping you out, the good ones, they're being protected by the weeds. It's unsightly, but I don't mind. I don't know, y'all might mind, but I don't mind. And I'm doing this by myself. I'm not gonna weed. I'm gonna weed when I want to. When it's interfering with what I grow. But shoot, from what I have done by myself, it hasn't interfered with much. As a matter of fact, it didn't interfere with anything. I'm not gonna say that I don't have weeds that are up to my knee length or higher. My weeds are on the ground, real low. So judge if you want to, but it's protecting my soil, and it'll protect yours too. Don't let your soil be exposed. Go ahead and get some mulch or let the weeds grow on top of it. Believe me. Check out other people or read a couple of books about it. But cover crops can be weeds. Weeds can be cover crops. Not that I'm a weedy gardener. I think somebody already got that name because I thought about taking it. I was like, man, I don't care. I'm getting my crops in, and I'm getting harvest, huge ones, huge, and I have weeds. It's no big deal. I mean, I'm on YouTube, but I just want to tell you that, I've seen some people, their garden are pristine, and I know, first of all, they probably can't be doing it by themselves. That's why I plant so densely, because girl, don't drink that. This dog, she's drinking the water I have. I plant densely, and I have a lot of plants. A lot of plants. Sometimes they attack each other, like this one is attacking my pepper plant that I'm gonna overwinter. I have a lot of plants, and I have a lot of weeds. So I also have awesome harvests. Harvests. Is that a word? Anyway, you could be like me, or you could have a beautiful garden that produces less. Example, and I know some people may have gotten mad at me about the tomato situation, but I was just telling the truth. Y'all are cutting off all your little stems on the side and saying you had this disease. Personally, from my experience, the ones that I had staked up had more diseases than the ones that were laying on the ground. They were all tomatoes. They were all, they were cherry tomatoes? The ones that were on the ground over there with the weeds, because the tomato landed on the weeds. So the weeds were protecting it from the soil, right? Man, I staked some up on that side. That Texas sun gave it a kiss. And it dried it up, and then it got weak, and then it got diseases. The ones that were laying on the ground nice and plush and green. I have so many. I don't know why I'm growing, but I ain't got no room in my freezer. I got a freezer full of tomatoes. What else did I harvest? Tomatoes and okra. My freezer is full of that. And then I jarred some. I jarred the brassicas. I usually can them, and I still got canned goods from last year. I get a lot, and that's the way I garden. Now I am using a lot of natural stuff because that 10-10-10, although the synthetic stuff, although it works, your soil gonna need that, and I don't know exactly what it's gonna do. See that butterfly? I don't know exactly what it's gonna do to the microorganisms and your worm population. No, that's a hornet, man, right there next to my selfie stick. I don't let it do what it do. Please don't come over here. So it got me distracted. It got me so distracted. So I just do what I do, especially with them tomatoes. I ain't staking no tomatoes. Never again. I went and got those little tomato cages, and man, them jokers shriveled up. And I got way less tomatoes from the ones that I put in the cage than the ones and these are cherry tomatoes. I'm only talking about cherry tomatoes, than the ones I got on the ground. And then I'm watching other people, and they're like, "Oh, what a wonderful harvest I got." I got a freezer full of tomatoes, half tomatoes and half okra. And it didn't come from over there where the stuff was staked up. It came from the ones that was laying down on the weeds. I didn't take care of anything. The only thing I did was when I planted, I put blood meal. I put a little bit of blood meal, because blood meal is for brassicas, because that's nitrogen. That'll just make you stuff nice and green and leafy. And you want leafy stuff, but you also want fruit, right? So you want to put some bone meal in there, and then I put some 444 natural fertilizer. I don't think I had the rabbits at that time. That's what all I did, and I got a lot. The only reason why they gone now is because I stopped watering it. The water bill was too high. And I don't have any more room. I don't have any room for anything. So the brassicas that I'm planting, I'm going to share it with my animals, and I'm going to can it because I don't have any room in my freezer right now. None. I'm talking about big bags, gallon-sized bags of tomatoes, cherry tomatoes. Not too many. I mean, it's never too many. I appreciate everything I got. And the okra, the same thing happened. But okra, I knew that was going to happen. And the okra seeds that I planted this year were my okra seeds, the seeds that I harvested from last year's crop. So remember, when you're pulling your stuff down, because it's October, everybody's cleaning up their yards, collect your seeds. You ain't got to buy them again. And my opinion, the seeds that you get from your own soil grow better the next year in your soil. This is Texas clay soil. So the okra, man, the okra was like, oh, I'm so used to this. I did the same thing last year with that loofah. I'll never do that again. I had a barrel full of loofah. There's a video on it. You'll see, or short on it. That was way too much loofah. And I have loofah sponges. I didn't. That's why I didn't plant it this year. I had loofah sponges for days. I still got loofah sponges, and I'm talking about big old bags. Loofah will take over everything. It'll grow a canopy on your trees. It's very aggressive, so you be careful where you put that. That's next year. That's for next year. But it's brassica seasons. Brassicas are easy to grow. If you're throwing turnips, just fling them out there and water them in, and they will grow. They will grow. The same thing. I'm gonna do the same thing with my beets. I'm gonna space them out a little bit, but beet seeds are clusters. So remember, one seed is not one seed. One seed is a couple of seeds. So I'm watering that area right now. I'm going to fluff it up, and I'm going to plant my beets. I'm going to sow my beets just like I sowed my turnips. May work and may not. We'll see. We'll see. I have hope. I have hopes. So it's so exciting. I'm so happy that fall is here because I can plant more. In Texas, you better start. I start my tomatoes and my bell peppers. Well, my bell peppers, I normally just keep them around forever. And my peppers in December, the latest I'll do it is December, because I know that our last frost date is the end of February. And by then, I'll have a plant that looks like this, like the store stuff. The stuff that you're spending, what, $5 to $7 for? Or more. That's ridiculous. This is what it's going to look like. It's going to be bigger than that, though, because I'm going to replant these things, repot these things. And these peppers, the pepper that I just pulled out, that's getting ate up by my, this is bitter melon. I gotta harvest this because it's taking over. Look at that. See, this is bitter melon. I use this for tea. But it's taking over and it's covering up my stuff. Okay. These, you can start your stuff now and keep it inside, because these are going inside. These right here, this is a bell pepper plant that I got from a bell pepper seed. And look, it got bell peppers trying to come out right now. Ain't gonna happen, but okay. It needs to be repotted though. See, this is bigger than the store-bought one. If the store was selling this, man, this joke would probably be $10, $15. Grow your own stuff. And you don't have to buy a pack of seeds. You got a bell pepper that you got from the supermarket, go ahead and use those seeds. This is what this is from. This is a bell pepper plant from a bell pepper seed that I bought from the supermarket. I ate the bell pepper and I planted its seeds. We don't use the seeds in our cooking anyway. We throw them away. At least I do. Yep. They grow. And they grow well. And they produce bell peppers, because I got a little bell pepper on there now. So I could talk on and on about plants. You know, when you're passionate about something, this is my hobby and my job. This is a business. I sell my chickens. I sold a couple of chickens. I sold quite a few chickens. All the older ones are gone. I think I have one left. I have three left. All of them chickens that I have are new. A lot of the plants that I have are new, but I'm getting into the stage of my life where I need to start planting stuff that I don't have to go out there every day and dig. I'm trying to get into perennials, but annuals are always good. They're always good. This thing, Smells like Siracy tea. Siracy tea is bitter. For bitter blood, this stuff. Bitter melon leaves. This right here is Siracy tea. Bitter melon leaves. Dry them out and make a tea with it, and it's supposed to clean your blood. But I'm not a doctor. Look it up. Look it up. There's a lot of stuff you can grow yourself. Anyway, you don't have to spend up. Well, you're gonna spend money anyway. You're gonna spend money on seeds. You're gonna spend money on fertilizer. If you do what I do and do seedlings, you're gonna spend money on soil. It's not an inexpensive thing to do, because my water bill is pretty high. Pretty high. This door is getting ready to fling back and forth. My water bill is pretty high. Somebody asked me about that, and yes, I have public water here and at the off-grid, or it's not off-grid, at the farm. I have public water at the farm. I can't live nowhere without water. And I didn't dig a well out there. I just talked to one of my neighbors, and I'm gonna contact the same people they used and try to dig a well. And then I could, reduce my bill of public water out there. But out here, man, I can't dig a well out here. I could, but it wouldn't be a good thing, because they probably get me. My water bill is sky high. So gardening, let me get him just a moment. Just keep on having to put out fires. My dog, my neighbor came out, and apparently he didn't want to. He wanted to let him know he was out there. Like, yeah, I'm right here. I'm right here. Don't come in this yard. I'd put him in. It's too early for him to start making a lot of noise. I try to be respectful of people, and there's people like to sleep in on the weekend. It's Sunday, and if they didn't go to church early in the morning, why would my dog be the one to wake them up? I try to be respectful of people and, try not to make a lot of noise. This used to be a quiet neighborhood. I don't know. I can't say it is as much anymore. Different people live different. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but I try to be quiet. I try not to let my life infringe on anyone else's life. They don't need to know what I'm doing. Unless they're subscribing, which is my next point. If you like what I'm doing here, and you want to follow my journey here and at the farm, please like and subscribe, because I got a lot going on. A lot. I thought that when I retired that I was going to be less busy, and it's not true, because I started gardening, and I started a business. This is a business. I started a business of gardening. My hobby. Do what you love and you'll never work a day in your life, right? That's what they say. And as you can see from around me, I love plants and I love animals. And that's what I wanted to do all my life. This is Jamerica with Jamerica Life. I thank you for everything. Do what you love. Do something productive, and do something that's going to keep you happy. And this makes me happy. It's Jamerica with Jamerica Life. I thank everybody for being with me. Remember to hit that like button and to subscribe. And I will see you on the next one.